Whiskey, come in. I need help in the lab, the scan room.
What happened?
Conrad killed himself after the scan.
Jesus, how?
Maser tool? What should I do?
And even, we see that even, like,
Please.
when she was human,
Stormwire's gonna shut down
Catherine
the art
was
project.
a little odd. Like, she doesn't seem terribly nonplussed about the whole... Conrad just killed himself with the Maser tool. But, oh, by the way, can we not shut down this whole scan thing that I'm doing, maybe? It's really important.
You definitely get the sense from Catherine that nonplussed actually means confused. Definitely get the sense from Catherine that she's really kind of has a different philosophical outlook on the art project than most of the other people, which I find very interesting.
She really thinks of this as a continuation of humanity, which I don't. I mean, I think it's I think it was absolutely a worthwhile thing, but, you know, she's like, it's the future of humanity, and I'm like, no, it's kind of building a new thing that really should exist under its own rules. But I also disagree with the people that disagreed with her, that thought, you know, or the people that killed themselves so that their copy would be living in art.
That clearly makes no sense.
Yeah.
If you shoot yourself, all you get is you are dead. It's the only outcome.
So we finally run into the explanation as to who exactly we are, which is to say that we are a brain scan of Simon Jarrett. And this is the person that we're listening to right now that actually survived, that actually came out of that brain scan. We are not them. We were never them.
You'll be taking an aspirin every morning, but that's about it.
And the Simon that we played in the very beginning of the game was, he died 29 days later.
Oh, I didn't realize it was so soon. I didn't look at the dates.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to adjust.
They gave him a roadmap, and then within about 11 days he was dead.
The model was sound. It should have worked. It's not your fault, David. I really wish things had turned out differently. Yeah, me too.
Maybe if we just shot you in the face when we gave you the scan.
Got my brain.
I can't get over this. I really want to ask those people, so how do you think this works?
You know, I find that easy to believe. There are people that, like
a part of me lives on or something.
Oh, I shouldn't go into that. People that have very strange... ideas that sound very strange to me about organ donation. That are very, you know... that attach religious significance to their own organs, and that, like, letting other people use them would have some sort of impact on them in some way, even though they're dead. That's the... and not a lot of people, but I've met a few people that hold views like that, and it always left me, like, backing away slowly, like, I don't know where you're getting that. So I guess I would find it totally easy to believe that there are one or two people on this station that believe that, well, there's only one version of you can exist at a time, and if you want the other one to be you've got to kill yourself. I think that's dumb, but I get how people could arrive at that conclusion.
I think we might be kind of underselling the sort of philosophical debate here, because this is not something that we have figured out. We don't have a scientific model of consciousness. I don't think any of us actually believes the idea... Yeah, we don't. I don't think any of us actually believes the idea that, like, if we were to brain scan ourselves into the Ark and then kill ourselves immediately afterwards, that the us that is now, before the brain scan, would consciously continue onwards to the brain scan that is in the Ark. I don't think any of us actually buys that, but
no.
I can see why some people might imagine that is the case. I mean, this is a whole
thing is that the three of us might have very the thing which we don't have any particular interest in talking about is that we might have three very different reasons why that wouldn't be the case.
Right.
That makes me feel much better.
Well, this is in philosophy this is called the ship of Theseus problem, or something along those lines. I don't remember the pronunciation. And basically the question is, so you've got this ship, Theseus, that over time requires maintenance, and eventually you end up replacing every single part of the ship, so that after a few years, eventually the ship is... Oh, lights went out. Eventually the ship that you have has none of the material that was in the original ship that you had. Is it still the same ship? You've been replacing it piecemeal over years and years. It's still the same ship that you started out with. And the answer is usually yes.
Right, but when applied to here's our first look at ourselves. But when applied to human beings, it's like very different. I don't see it as a ship of Theseus problem. I see it
the other potential, if I can cut you off here. The other potential question in here is like, okay, so you have another ship, and it goes out to sea and it sinks, and you replace it, and you rebuild that ship exactly as it was when it was sank. Is it still the same ship? It's still like the Theseus, has none of the same parts as the original ship. But the difference is that ship was lost all at once, and that's really the only difference between the two. Is it still the same ship? And most of us would answer no.
This seems like a good time to bring in a quick hypocritical reminder. I say hypocritical because I was just really belligerent about the whole shooting yourself and you keep living thing. Please keep the comments very, very respectful.
Thank you, Rutsguard. Good advice.
Is every AI self-aware?
And then the last wrinkle of the ship of Theseus is, okay, I replace this ship a part at a time until it's all replaced. But then I take all the parts that I discarded and I gather them up and put them together in the ship. Isn't that the Theseus again? But we've already got a Theseus. The one I've been replacing and maintaining all this time. So what is this ship built from discarded Theseus? Shouldn't this be more the ship of Theseus than the one we're calling the Theseus? So, but I guess my problem with that analogy is that it doesn't take into account the difference between a machine brain and an organic brain. Like, to me, they're just so fundamentally different, and if a machine brain is like a human brain, then it's probably flawed. Because, like Rutskarn said, why would you go to all the trouble to make a machine brain that could feel anxiety, or fear, or become enraged, or belligerent, or, a pathological liar? Like, what
if you wanted to make a machine brain that could work like a human brain?
Right,
exactly.
And to be clear, not just feeling anxious,
Simon.
but who feels like who filters almost everything through a lens of anxiety.
Right. And we have a lot of systems that are in place, a lot of behaviors that are there solely to maintain our meat flesh. And would you really want to import all of those things? I guess the question isn't could you, it's where you have to draw the line. You do not want to build this road. Like, it would really suck for Simon Jarrett if he's walking around hungry, his nose is itchy, and he really needs to have sex. But he's a giant walking robot. Okay, that would really suck. It was if it's continuing to simulate. So, but where do you draw that line between, what parts are we going to simulate and what parts are we not going to simulate? And to almost understand what Simon is, you kind of have to know, like, well, where did they draw that line? Does he feel anxiety? Is he forgetful? Does he get in a bad mood? Can he get in a bad mood?
Catherine, one thing that I find interesting is that Catherine really is living up to her principles here and is not at all concerned about you tossing her room.
She seems a little irritated at times, but so it's interesting to think about this. Catherine's brain scan, she walked out of her room, did her day, went through the daily grind of her day, and then brain scanned herself. And as far as Catherine and the Omni tool is concerned, that was the last memory she has. So we're coming back to her room only hours after she left it, to her perspective.
Right. But there was another, from her perspective, another Catherine lived here maybe for years. And, did a bunch of shit, went through her daily grind here.
So here we find out that the initial ARC project was actually sparked by some findings that Imogen Reed, who becomes important later on, and Catherine found, which was something that WoW put together, and this eventually sparked the idea for Catherine to put together the ARC project.
So, the ship of Theseus, I finally find an analogy that I like. Everybody's like, is it still, we've replaced the parts, is it still the same ship? Is it still the same ship? But that's not what's happening here. Simon wasn't gradually turned into this robot man a little bit at a time. He was abruptly transported into something totally different. So it's not the ship of it's like, what if we tore apart the ship of Theseus and put all the parts back in together, except now it's an 18-wheeler. Is it still the ship of Theseus? No, it's not.
I think an even better is like, what if we built a replica of the ship of Theseus? We had all the blueprints for the ship of Theseus, and we knew exactly how everything's put together, but we build it out of new parts. Is that the ship of Theseus? Is Simon still Simon from before the brain scan?
I mean, I think having a scan of my brain would be cool. I'd like having a machine that, like, had my values and would be good to people in the same way that I try to be good to people, and, you know, would do things that I like, and would go out and maybe be creative in the way that I was creative. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty valuable. Maybe it'll start a vlog. I'd actually like to read that.
Yeah, like, I
have value in it, but I wouldn't see it as me.
Right, exactly. I feel exactly the same way. Like, I think the idea of having a brain scan of me living on, that would be great. You know, to keep something of me going. It wouldn't be me, and it would be a fundamentally different person from me very quickly. But I don't think it would be something that's not a valuable use of time.
Yeah. Yeah,
so this guy is Mark Sarang. Sorry, keep going.
No. Yeah, I was actually going to jump ahead, and I'm realizing now that's a mistake. So, Mark Sarang.
This guy is Mark Sarang. This guy came up with the initial idea, the sort of... the game almost frames it as like a sort of a weird religious cult sort of thing in a very small scale of...
Maybe the shuttle station.
That if you kill yourself immediately before... or immediately after getting brain scanned, that your neurons, your configuration of your brain is exactly identical to the way the brain scan is, and then you kill yourself so you get your consciousness transferred over. He's the one who started that. He's also apparently connected to the WoW project in some sort of nefarious fashion.
I think maybe they should have gone for some sort of religious angle, because I could say almost every argument I can think of in favor of that idea depends on thinking about a soul. And this didn't... If these people, like, seemed religious, that might help, but then maybe the game developers wisely decided to stay clear of that because they didn't want anybody to think they were commenting on religion. So maybe they just sort of left that alone.
I got a kind of religious cult guy from this dude, or religious cult vibe from this guy.
Right, but they didn't, like, is he, like, they never talk about it, like, if he, like, specifically referenced a soul or something, and, you know, like, explain some sort of, and they could even, if they wanted to avoid, like, pissing off a specific religion, they could just make up a future religion or something, or, like, you know, do a mashup, a religious mashup. But no, it was probably better.
Oh no, his brain fell off.
I'm glad they didn't, because honestly, I think that superstition, particularly in that sort of respect, the one thing I will absolutely believe is that sort of superstition is secular as hell. It does not matter whether or not you buy into the larger concept of religion in your life. When it comes down to it, and you're in this kind of extreme situation, people develop ideas outside of what they already understand. All the time. It's the thing we're really good at.
That is a really interesting perspective. I would never thought of it in those terms. I always, but you're right. I think you're right. Like, people that have no sense of religion can still be superstitious about things. And in fact, now that you mentioned that, I can think of, oh, please stop honey hopping, of non-religious people that do that sort of thing. I don't know a lot of non-religious people, so I don't know how common it is, but...
So this person took the unfortunate way out by apparently slitting their throat with
yeah, that's
a straight razor after getting scanned.
Ow!
I will live on for the next several hours in the giant mess my irritated coworkers have to clean up.
But again, I think I want to emphasize that. What would be great?
They're like, I don't want to clean up his dead body. Nobody wants to clean up his... You know what we'll do? Take his brain scan, put him in a robot, and get his robotic ass in here and make him clean this up.
I guess, actually, ultimately... oh my... See, I was about to gloss over that, and then I realized, like, how depressing that would be.
It's a flower scan from Cradle.
You find yourself in a new existence. What am I going to do in this new life? And everybody is in a circle around you with arms folded, glaring at you. Somebody hands you a bucket and a mop and sends you back to your own quarters.
Actually, I really want to, like... Okay, so my lifelong dream is to be the lead writer on a Paranoia video game. And I think how I would want to start it was, you're a clone, and your first job is to clean up the body you left behind when you just died.
I think this person's room is the most telling. This note particularly. We're all dying anyway. I'm all in. I put my faith in Sarang and the continuity. This person knows that they're pretty fucked. Humanity has pretty much no chance of surviving.
Which is the point we haven't mentioned so far, which is accurate.
Yeah, so why not do the... You know, why discount the superstition simply on the fact that you don't want to believe in it, and not just attempt to survive? Oh crap!
You know, also the other thing. Sorry, this is a little bit of a silly comment, but it just occurred to me that, as seems to have been the case, when you think about it, there's no particular reason to clean up the room. It's like, hey, it's not like we're moving some other guy in there, right?
Yeah.
Once we start having babies real fast.
Well, no, I mean, my concern would be the stench. I mean, I believe that these doors form a pretty good seal, but unless they are airlock tight, then in not very long, it would become really nasty to be in this hallway. And if somebody opened that door, the smell would just be overpowering of this rotting, bloated, pestilent corpse.
Well, fortunately, you're a robot and you don't have a nose anymore.
Are there any, like, flies or anything that survive down here?
I wonder.
There were maggots on Acre's bloodstain. I don't see anything on this, though. Again, I'd like to emphasize, we don't have a definition of consciousness. We don't have a solid understanding of what makes you, you, and the you that is experiencing you right now. What makes that, like, unique? What makes that distinct from all the other yous that could potentially be experiencing what you're experiencing now? You know, the difference is not something that science has really figured out.
Well, I don't think it's even something...
never figure it out or anything like that.
I think it's something that philosophers need to figure out. I mean, you know, you can argue about it all day, but it's like, it really is up to you. Do you think this copy is really you? No? Well then, okay, nobody can prove you wrong.
See, part of the reason this game is so effective if you're agnostic or atheist is that this is already terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, these ideas are already horrifying. Just deeply lying awake all night, horrifying. Before you throw in all of these things that complicate them.
Oh, I took damage from that. Oh no.
Oh no, you better go find your boyfriend. Ask him for some...
Hello, WoW. My old friends. I'm gonna put this in there.
Oh, look away, children!
What were we talking about? Oh, crap. I hope I didn't break anything. I'm sorry, WoW. I needed it. And you know that you liked it too. Alright, so we have to go downstairs to the lame part of this video game.
The downstairs is the bad place.
It's not the bad place, it's the lame place. There's a difference.
I don't know that we're going to have time to finish this up before the end of the week. What are you going to do about
Simon,
it?
I
there's
don't
a really
remember.
lame monster down there.
A really annoying monster.
It's the monster from Amnesia again.
This is the closest the game... Actually, this part was genuinely nerve-wracking at first until
the problem with this is not this part. It's all the parts afterwards where they use the same monsters and you just have this really elongated, like, running away from monsters sequence. That part sucks. This part is okay.
That was another alive person, wasn't it?
I can't talk to him, though.
Okay, this really sucks. We're in here, we have to like reboot the modem, and it's a device that makes a super loud sound, and then you have to wait 20 seconds, and then you have to push another button. But when you push the first button, it immediately draws the monster. So you like have to, and it times out. It's almost like a Wi-Fi connect. You know, you press the button and then you have to press the other button to make the two talk to each other. So you have to press the button, the monster shows up, you hide from it, and then you have to sneak in around it and press the second button. That's your goal, but the game doesn't. The game doesn't explain that, and it's super annoying to figure it out. And yeah, not awesome. Not awesome. This is a spooky area.
If I can jump on top of this, which is no. Can I jump on top of anything? Ah, excellent. Okay, so I have a plan here. We'll see if this fucking works. Please reset router. Okay, how do I do that? Where's
that button right there?
Oh, well, okay, so first you just going to want to flip the switch off and then on again. If that doesn't work, what you want to do is you're going to want to get like a pin or like a mechanical pencil.
Hey, buddy! Is this Acres down here, or is he in the other place?
No,
this is not Acres.
Acres is in the other place.
Hey, buddy! How's it going?
So can it get
These guys
you
are really
and...
tall. Evidently not. Hi!
Neener.
These guys are blind, by the way, but they can still hear you.
Yeah, they're blind. That is some bullshit. The game keeps insisting that they're blind, but they don't.
Where's the
really...
thing that I have to press to reset this?
It's right under you, like
over...
you're standing on it.
Oh. No, there's like a thing over here. Isn't there?
Oh.
I don't remember how to do this. It's been a little while.
Dang it. Well, you broke the monster again, so that's good.
I mean, that's always fun. Oh, here's another alive person. Button! Where are you?
I thought the button was right there on the same console.
I thought so too. I guess not. Hey, buddy! Oh. Oh, he hit me.
Oh, that's enough of that bullshit.
I woke up! Yay!
I think that qualifies as AFK.
Oh, it's that little green button right there.
Oh.
You wait until the thing fills up and then you press the green button.
Okay. Well, it can't get me from here.
That's an interesting theory.
Well, I was on top of this light before. Hi! Go away now. Go away. Nobody loves you. The WoW doesn't love you anymore.
Just give him a kick.
Oh.
Just give him a
He
little kick.
loves me.
Oh, wait. Now look down. Is it time to hit the button?
It's still on that damn reset screen. Please reset router.
And then you push
What
the
the fuck
button.
do you want? Go away.
He's clearly just looking for the lozenges.
As again, this game is annoying.
Yeah. Like, imagine you're,
I may
you're
have
just
pissed it
crouching.
off.
Yeah, you really did. Nope. Game over.
Huh.
That seemed like that was
You
trying
died.
too hard.
Press any button to try again.
Alright, good night, folks.
Good night.